Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Every single day, YouTube has to make over 1 million decisions. One wrong choice and harmful content stays up, or a creator's livelihood is destroyed in an instant. How does the platform handle that kind of pressure? Today, we're diving into YouTube's Human-in-the-Loop model, or HIL. It's a hybrid approach that combines massive AI power with human judgment. We're going behind the scenes of the BPOs. That stands for Business Process Outsourcing, and the external companies that Google hires to manage those reviews. We'll talk about why they send those robotic responses, and more importantly, how you can provide the specific data they need to actually approve your appeal. Now, when you appeal, your case doesn't go to a salarized Google employee. It goes to a TVC, which is a temp vendor or contractor. So why doesn't Google just hire more employees? Well, it comes down to scale. Every minute, over 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube. A direct internal team simply can't keep up with that volume while providing 24/7 coverage in every language and culture on Earth. By using BPOs like Accenture, Teleperformance, or TaskUs, YouTube can spin up hundreds of reviewers in a specific time zone overnight if there's a global event or even a new policy rollout. These companies also provide clean room environments, secure physical offices where moderators can review sensitive or flagged content without it leaking or compromising the main Google network. The role of AI in 2026 is all about scale. The vast majority of content removals are now handled by machines before they ever receive a single review. This is agentic AI, a system that can reason through your video's transcript, metadata, and visual cues to find violations in milliseconds. But as powerful as this tech is, it isn't perfect. It frequently triggers false positives, cases where the system wrongly flags a perfectly legitimate video as a violation. Because the AI knows it can miss nuance, it doesn't always make the final call. When the system is unsure or a creator hits that appeal button, it triggers the human review process. This is where the TVC steps in to provide the human judgment that the machine lacks. This is where the human reviewer becomes essential. While AI is great at spotting patterns, it's historically terrible at understanding context. Think about satire, complex geopolitical commentary, and even local slang. To a machine, a satirical joke might look like a policy violation, but a human can see the intent behind the art. These reviewers are trained to navigate the grey areas where a machine would simply fail. But it's important to acknowledge the weight of this role. These moderators are often viewing the most difficult content on the internet to keep it off your screen. It's a high-pressure, high-stakes job with a real emotional toll. And their goal isn't to get you, it's to apply a human lens of empathy to a system that would otherwise be purely mathematical. So, how does content actually get in front of these reviewers? It often starts with you. Community flagging is an early warning system of 2026 because it tends to move so fast and local contexts change. The AI can't always know what's offensive in every corner of the world. When you report a video, you're helping the system identify a potential problem it might have missed. But here's the most important thing to remember. A report does not equal an automatic removal. In the HIL model, your flag simply acts as a trigger. It moves that video from a general pool into a priority queue for a human reviewer to examine. The community provides the leads, but the human AI hybrid team makes the final call. One of the biggest frustrations for creators is the lack of direct communication. Why can't you just chat with the person who is reviewing a case? It comes down to security and data privacy. Because these TVCs are reviewing your private account data, production files, and sometimes sensitive flagged content, they work in what's called a clean room environment. In these high security BPO hubs, moderators often aren't allowed to have phones, cameras, or even paper and pencils at their desk. Everything they do is monitored and logged. This is why they use standardized response libraries. If a moderator were allowed to type a custom, personal email to you, it would create a massive security risk. They could accidentally leak internal tools or give unauthorized advice. When you get a canned response, it isn't a sign of laziness. It's a strict security protocol designed to protect the platform. The most important metric for one of these moderators is AHT, or average handle time. In 2026, a reviewer might have as little as 2 to 3 minutes to decide the fate of your channel. To maintain this speed, they must validate the AI summary quickly. Moderators are also being watched by a process called reverse quality sampling. Google's internal teams trap the moderators by slipping in known policy violations into their daily queue. If a moderator approves a channel that should have been rejected, it's a major hit to their quality score. Because their job depends on not making a false approval, moderators are naturally incentivized to be aggressive. They would rather wrongly reject a maybe than accidentally approve a no. So, you've hit that appeal button. What actually happens in the next 24 hours? First, YouTube follows a fresh eyes protocol. The moderator who issued the original strike is never the person who reviews your appeal. This ensures a new perspective. Most appeals are targeted for resolution within 24 hours, but it's a tiered system. Tier 1, a standard BPO reviewer checks the basic policy. Then there's Tier 2, which are the specialists. If your appeal is nuanced, like educational transformation, it's escalated to a specialist team with higher level of training. And then there's the Tier 3, which is the internal reviewers. For high-profile cases, it goes to an actual Google employee on the internal trust and safety team. When you're drafting your appeal, you're trying to provide enough technical evidence to trigger an escalation to those Tier 2 specialists who have the authority to look at the nuance. To get your case into that specialist queue, your appeal needs to be clinical. For YouTube Partner Program or monetization rejections, use the video appeal. Open your editing software, say, this content is transformative and provides significant original commentary. Give them the exact compliance markers they need to justify passing your case up the chain. When it comes to channel terminations, this is a text form appeal. Identify the policy pillar immediately. If you believe it was a mistake, use the phrase, I believe this was a security system error triggered by multiple logins, VPN usage, whatever it might be. This bypasses standard filters and flags it for a security specialist. Since the termination form is text only, host a short production-proof video on Google Drive and paste a link. Label it technical evidence and paste the URL. Understanding this human-in-the-loop model isn't just about knowing how YouTube works. It's about knowing how to navigate the system when it fails you. While the process is highly regulated, providing the right technical data is the only way to make it safe for a reviewer to click that approve button. Now, if you're currently stuck in an appeal loop, the YPP and Termination PDFs that I've put in the description are built with specific technical descriptions that these TVCs and specialist teams look for. Instead of an emotional plea, use these checklists to build a case based on technical compliance. But getting your channel back is only half the battle. You also need to understand the 2026 policy triggers that cause these flags in the first place. To do that, move straight into this playlist right here, where I break down the latest updates on YPP and channel terminations, so you can stay ahead of the next policy shift. I'll see you over there. This is Doug, and I'll catch you later.
Give them the claws, give them the choice.